The days are longer, the calendar is filling up, and I want to feel as good as this beautiful summer weather. That's why I've been loving Groons. It's one daily pack of gummies that covers my greens, vitamins, and minerals, and even has 6 grams of prebiotic fiber. So I don't need to juggle a complicated wellness routine on top of everything else. They taste amazing. They're easy to toss in my bag on the go. Plus, they're vegan, gluten free, and HSA, FSA eligible for reimbursement. Save up to 52% off with promo code podcast at gruns.co. That's code podcast at gruns.co.
This podcast is sponsored by Jace Medical. For 250 years, Americans have valued freedom, independence, and the ability to take care of ourselves and our families. This 4th, Jace Medical is celebrating with a special anniversary offer. Get a Jace case for just $250. The Jace case is a physician-curated emergency supply of critical antibiotics and medications designed to help you prepare for travel disruptions, natural disasters, supply shortages, unexpected emergencies, and more. The freedom to act begins with preparedness. Visit jace.com, that's JASE.com, and claim your $250 Jace case today through July 31st.
Not only do these guys give you the best Jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Jay Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Forgot about that Dan Quinn got that job.
Yeah.
The head commie. New coach of the commies. Apparently, we can play this in now. Apparently, Keyonte George dropped by the Commanders' practice, the commie practice, if you will. The commissar. No, that's something different. You want to hear what Dan Quinn had to say about Keyonte George of the Utah Jazz? All right, let's play that sound. Go ahead, Christian.
We had a basketball coach and a player come in this past year, and they were here as like guests for the day, and his scoring percentage went up. This was his 3rd year in the league, and so I'd asked him what was the difference, between like going from like 6 points to 12 points to 23 points. And I thought it was going to be, man, I put up 1,000 shots, and I'm sure that he did. And his response was, I got in crazy shape. We talked about that as a team, about what that looks like at your positions. And sometimes you think it's so much of the skill and this part and the shooting, or I got to get this much faster or this much stronger. Crazy shape. And so I'm hopeful when you see some of the team today, I think you will see some of that.
Do you recall who the head coach and the NBA player were that spoke to the team?
Keyonte George was the player, and he and Will Hardy were guests for a day. It was him. I had asked him the question because I was super impressed by what took place for him in year 3 to go from one spot to the next to the next. I said, you played 2 years. Did you think you were in good shape? Obviously he was playing in the NBA. It's like the best. So he thought he was good, but there was another level to go to. And that was my message, to say, in these 5 weeks, there's another level that we all can get to.
He mentions Will Hardy also being there, has done a lot of this. He's gone and met with different coaches of different sports. He went down, he kind of made buddies with the Tampa Bay Lightning head coach, which led to people believing that maybe, because Ryan Smith's also friends with him, that he would come and take over for Coach Bear with the Mammoth. That was kind of rumored for a little while. But Will Hardy has done this. It's not, I guess, terribly surprising that Will would go and meet with the Washington Commanders. Will is from the Virginia area?
Yeah,
Carolinas?
I think he is.
Maybe it's the Virginia area, whatever it is. So he's from that area. That would make some sense. I'm sure Keontae's following around. Keyonte, though, is taking his professionalism very seriously. Keyonte is taking his growth really, really seriously as a player.
I want to know what you think of his answer.
There are 2 things that Keyonte has done very well. One is gotten himself right mentally, and he has talked about that a lot. And Will Hardy has talked about that. And I don't know exactly what it looks like, other than Keyonte has said publicly he's gone and talked to the Jazz's sports therapist, and that it was nice to talk to somebody who's not going to judge you for whatever you're going through. And I don't know what that meant, but I'm not going to pry. If Keyonte wanted to tell me, he could. He doesn't have to. But he said he went and kind of just got right mentally for his approach to the game and wasn't worried about everything else, or what his, I don't even know if he's mentioning his past or whatever his life had been, but got right to be where he is today. And then,
But he didn't say that. He said he got in best physical shape. He got in, took it to the next level physically. I actually think what you're saying is kind of related, but I was surprised he didn't say, well, I adjusted my attitude or any of those sorts of things. He said, I got into the best I got right physically. I got into the best physical shape that I could possibly get in. He didn't say the 1,000 jumpers. He didn't say the sports psychologist.
Right.
He didn't say my teammates or anything like that. He said, like that, I got in the best physical shape I possibly could.
And the backstory there is that Keyonte had been a yo-yo dieter as a high school and college player. Mm-hmm. Somebody had told me he was like 40 pounds overweight at Baylor. Just crazy. It's really hard for young people to gain weight while you're also running around nonstop on a basketball court. It's hard to put on weight. Apparently, it's not for Keyonte. He is one of these guys that can put on weight quickly and would eat really crappy, and it would just stick to him. Some guys, Andre Karolinko notoriously talked about it a lot. He's like, I'm trying to put on weight, guys. I'm trying as best I can. Was he? I don't know. But some guys really try to put on weight, and it doesn't matter what they do. They can't. Keyonte has the opposite problem. He needs to fight to keep weight off, and he kind of got a handle of that. My understanding is his girlfriend, I don't know if he still has a girlfriend or what, but played a huge role in that as well, of like, hey, you're sitting on a lottery ticket. You need to take advantage of it. And he has taken it seriously and has gotten himself in extremely good shape.
I just point that out because, that's why I'm saying I think it's all related. But I find it interesting that he said that from the sense of, like, you've got to start somewhere. Keyonte needed to make a major adjustment with all the things you were talking about. But you got to start somewhere, right? And what do you have to do to get in peak physical condition? The very basic, what do you have to do? This is the reason I'm in such crappy shape all the time. Discipline.
Yeah.
You have to change your life to get into really great shape. From the stuff with his girlfriend or whatever, with the people around you. You have to change the major things. Well, Andre Karolinko always went to McDonald's.
Right.
You know, it was his comfort,
his vice,
whatever
it
vice
was.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And in order to eliminate that, you have to have discipline, and you have to change the way you live. You have to change the way you think. You have to do things. This is the great part about exercise, right? Mm-hmm. You have to do things that you don't think are possible or work toward things you've never done before. It's not just simply, I snap my fingers and all of a sudden I'm in the greatest shape of my life. I had to change everything, and I had to work really, really hard, and I got into the best shape of my life. And what do you know, Ben? All these other good things started happening for me. He was probably more disciplined with his practice on honing his skills because he had to be disciplined in order to get himself in the best shape of his life. In order to make an adjustment like that in your life, you have to grow up. You have to have a different kind of mentality. I just think that's a really fascinating answer, and I don't even know if he was trying to be all that interesting or revealing or whatever, but he said, because I did not think that about Keyonte last year. If you would have asked me what was the reason that he got a lot better, I would have said a bunch of touchy-feely stuff about growing up and maturing and all this stuff, or what Coach Quinn said there, he probably took a zillion shots and he probably went to work out with Luka Doncic in Serbia. Or,
whatever. Yeah.
That's not the first thing that he said, or not what he said to the commies. He said, I'm in the best shape of my life. I think that's pretty insightful, honestly, and probably had great byproducts for his game, but you always have to start somewhere, you know?
Exactly to your point. And I can't remember if he told me this or if I read this or listened to it on a podcast or whatever it was. But Keyonte also said one of the big differences was on non-game nights, he started going to bed at 10 o'clock.
Discipline.
Because what do you do after 10 o'clock? He says you're snacking. Maybe he's drinking. I don't have any idea.
They're playing video games, not sleeping.
But you're not sleeping and you're just snacking. I mean, he specifically said he would stay up late and eat food late at night. And that's the worst time to eat because then it just sits in you for 12 hours before you get in. I mean, that's why adults gain weight. You start staying up later. You eat crappy after 10 o'clock. You don't move, and the weight just sticks to you. Keyonte said, I started going to bed earlier, and when you go to bed earlier, you can't take in 400 extra, 600 extra calories at night just sitting on your couch watching basketball, playing video games, doing whatever it is. And he said that was a big part of it. So again...
Well, not to mention, when you go to bed at 3, what time do you wake up?
Correct. And if you are still having to get up at 8 o'clock to go to practice, you're not practicing well. So the point of what you're saying is he did the one thing that unlocked probably everything else.
That's exactly my point.
And getting in shape was the one thing that unlocked everything else. And it was being serious about, when am I going to bed? Am I getting enough sleep? Which, by the way, is a huge thing for athletes, specifically the Utah Jazz. We're bringing in sleep specialists for a long time, but people kind of realize this is an easy way to fix your life that doesn't require 1,000 jump shots a day. Are you actually healthy with your sleeping patterns? So when you are at practice, you're getting the most out of it. All of that stuff is linked for Keyonte. So yes, while the mental health part of it is there, while learning, having just been through the NBA, understanding the tendencies of every player you go against certainly helps and is part of it. There are guys who play in the NBA for 3 years and don't get any better and leave because they don't take it seriously. And Keyonte has begun to take it seriously, which is why when we've kind of not had debates, but talked about, like, do we actually believe in Keyonte George's growth to be more than whatever Colin Sexton did, or some of these guards who put up big numbers and never get better. Anthony Simons is a good example. Some of this approach makes me think there may be more there to this. It's more real than some other players. And still, it has to happen on a winning team.
I love any chance we get time we get a chance to bring up Hot Dog. And when you asked him about being fat, which you did right to his face, he said, "You're a fat guy," and who's also an NBA player. How is that working out for you? And he said, "Oh, I'm good with a little ballast. That's part of me. I've always been a bowling ball kind of guy." That's a terrible answer.
Yes, and it's wrong.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
It's a terrible answer. And I'm not saying that you have to all of a sudden turn into LeBron James, but if history is any lesson to us, you really can't have a body type like that and make it in the NBA.
Like that?
But it was kind of accurate to how he played on the floor too. I'm not going to play disciplined team basketball. I'm going to play. Would I rather stay up eating donuts and watching Cartoon Network? Yeah, that's how he played.
Correct.
Right.
It was all empty calories. Quite literally, his life was empty calories.
Right. So now you come away from Hot Dog's answer to you about being a fat guy and saying, oh, well, maybe it works for him. It doesn't. There's all sorts of reasons he's not in the league. I would guarantee that's one of them, because in order to lose that weight, you have to be disciplined. You have to form good habits, and you have to do all these things that are hard. And I think a lot of players, and here's what you're talking about, players that wash out of the league, don't want to do hard things. A lot of humans, a lot of us,
absolutely
don't want to do hard things.
It's why most people aren't professional athletes. It's not an easy thing to get into.
My wife and daughter are bugging me about climbing. You know what? I don't want to be a climber. You know why? It's hard.
It's hard work.
It's really hard.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. Hey, I will tell you, and maybe I'm speaking out of school a little bit, but I had somebody who was talking to George Niang, and I think he was in Cleveland at this point, and George told this person, "Oh man, life's good." George had just signed kind of his first real contract, got like $5 or $7 million, whatever it was. This was only a few years ago, but George was like, "Life's great. I'm out of shape. I don't play. I just signed my huge contract. It's great." And like 3 years later, he was out of the league. Like, I think those were related. I think George worked really hard to get into better shape when he was with the Jazz or with Philly or whatever it was, and got his money and said,
"I'm out.
Back to empty calories, empty calorie George." And literally, got traded by the Jazz to Memphis. I know he's got a foot injury, but he told us off the air, it'll be better by November. Never played for the Jazz. Got traded, never played. We'll see if he comes back next year. I haven't heard anyone talk about his name as a free agency at all as a free agent this offseason. So maybe he never does. And I guess it has something. I would bet it has something to do with, are you in shape or not?
Dude, Greg Ostertag took Shaq out of a playoff series. He did.
Yeah,
he took
absolutely.
Shaq at the peak of Shaqness, not even like rookie Shaq.
Right.
But
Lakers
Shaq
Yep.
took Shaq out of a playoff series. Signs a 6-year deal. A 6-year deal, which interestingly enough was only like $36 million or something.
But felt like a lot.
It was like $6 million per year. I don't know. I can't remember what the math was, but it was a great contract at the time. Great contract. That dude retired the day he signed it.
Yes, he did.
In fact, I don't know if it was the next training camp or the training camp after where Karl Malone called him a fat ass in camp. In camp. Yeah, that dude retired as soon as he signed that. Because you know what? Keeping yourself in shape at that size and being a dominant NBA center, it's hard. Taking Shaq out of a playoff series is really hard.
Google Mehmet Okur 2004.
Oh, when he first signed with the Jazz?
When he first signed with the Jazz
I
and couldn't
remember.
play. He had a black eye because he'd taken a major elbow, and it seems like it lasted all season. And then Google whatever his all-star year was with the Jazz, 2008, 2000, whatever. Like, he looked totally different. He got into great shape. He became an awesome NBA player. He's not a perfect player, but he maximized what he could do physically because he got into great shape. As we've been talking.
Wait, real quick on Memo, because I have a funny story about that. I covered, and I was out there with David James, was out there for TV, and I was out there, and there were a bunch of media, and we watched him. This sounds so stupid because this never happens anymore. First of all, that Mehmet Okur would fly into Utah on a commercial jet, but we were at the airport when he came to Utah after signing that deal. I'll never forget because we watched him come down the escalator because there was an escalator at the time, and everybody standing there was like, "That's a big boy.
That's a big man."
That was the first thing you noticed. It was like, whoa, that's a big dude. And not in a like he's really tall kind of way.
That's a bigger person than we expected.
Yeah. Like,
that man's
NBA
got
player, he's big.
Dude's got some weight on him.
Yeah, there's some meat on that bone.
The other part of this, and I will be curious who of the Jazz's young players takes this to heart because it will be the big deal for them. I saw it with Ace Bailey, and we didn't get to see him play a whole lot at Summer League, but I saw him up close before the first game at Huntsman Center, and he had a lot of weight in his face. And by the way, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. That might be, as you get bigger, you put on weight in your face. That's what every adult does. We'll see if that means he's getting into better shape or if he's not putting on good weight. That will be a question for Ace Bailey because I'm sure the Jazz said you need to be eating 3,000 calories a day, at least, maybe 4. Cody Williams doing the same thing. You've got to put on a bunch of weight because you've got to get way stronger. The question is, does that weight turn into muscle or does that weight just turn into bad weight? That will be a determining factor for both of them. But I'm reminded of at the draft, right after Darren Peterson got picked, he was on the phone with Ryan Smith, I believe Austin Ainge, and Danny Ainge. Maybe Will Hardy was even there. And this clip is on social media. It's on YouTube. And Ryan congratulates him, and Austin congratulates him, and Danny takes the phone from them on like a FaceTime call and says there are 2 hacks to being an NBA player. There's 2 cheat codes. Play defense and get in as good a shape as possible. Those are the 2 things he said. Now remember, Danny Ainge is one of the 20 greatest athletes in sports history. I mean, he could play professional baseball, professional basketball, was an All-American high school football player. Danny was a freak athlete. He would know. But the thing he said to Darren Peterson is not, let's go get some jump shots, not go work on your handle. He said, get in really good shape.
Yeah.
So good for Keyonte if we're coming back to this. And if Keyonte can continue to get better, he can be a really important part of the Jazz's roster. And as I think we did learn early on, it's 5 games of Summer League that don't matter. I don't think Darren Peterson is ready to be a point guard right now. I don't think Bill Self is just a moron who looked at Darren Peterson and said, I don't know what position he plays, so I'm just going to put him at the 2. I think he realized, this guy can't run my team, so I'm not going to put the ball in his hands and make him a point guard day 1 at Kansas as we're trying to win a national championship. He didn't. And then the Jazz realized, looks like he's probably going to have to play off ball, which is good news for Keontae's long-term future. It ups his value for the Jazz. And I think Keyonte has shown he is good enough right now to play some point guard. Again, it comes back to, are you doing it on a 22-win team? Or can you do it on a 42-win team next year? And that's got to be the goal.
That may be true about Darren Peterson, but I'm not going to, the Bill Self thing I'm not going to use as evidence.
Well, we don't know. The Toop is
the Toop, I mean, these old crusty coaches that just make players fit into what their system is as opposed to adjust what they do to the players is remarkable. Not that maybe I won't use that example, but I know of a young phenom player, high profile, that picked a blue blood college basketball program with a stuffy coach that did not adjust what they were doing, and it totally damaged this young player's career.
Yeah.
I'll tell you off the air, and you'll know exactly who I'm talking about, because they didn't use him in any way, shape, or form correctly because this coach was just stuck in their ways. You know what I mean? And so if Darren Peterson comes into Bill Self's thing and Bill Self says, I use a player like this off the ball, because that's what I've always done. I don't know if that's necessarily always right. Does that make any sense?
Caleb Wilson in Summer League, I believe, shot, see if I can see his numbers here, 42% from the three-point line.
Right.
Big knock coming out of North Carolina was, he can't shoot at all. Well, yeah, Hubert Brown used him as a power forward to just rim run.
Hubert Davis,
not Hubert Brown.
I do love Hubie Brown. Mm-hmm.
Glad he's still alive. Hubert Davis used him strictly as a basically rim running four, lob catching four. Didn't allow him to parade around out at the three-point line. He took a couple, but wasn't getting a lot of threes throughout his college career because he was bigger, stronger, more physical than everybody else and could just dunk on everyone, led college basketball in dunks, which, by the way, honestly, that's not a bad design by Hubert Davis. You're bigger, stronger, and can jump over everybody. Just go finish at the rim. That's really beneficial. But if you were going to base everything you knew off of Caleb Wilson on what Hubert Davis did, you didn't know what Caleb Wilson actually could do, to your point, and now Hubert Davis does not have a job. By the way, NBA teams did know that there was more to Caleb Wilson's game than what Hubert Davis showed. But to your point, coaches in college, and maybe the Toop as well, at Kansas, will use players wrong for their own good in hopes of winning quicker versus who the actual player will be at their best. I mean,
or maybe they just don't know. Larry Kraskowiak used Kyle Kuzma.
Had no idea how to use Kyle Kuzma. Yeah,
totally
that's the best example. Had no idea what type of player he was.
Jerry Sloan didn't know how to use Paul Millsap.
Correct. Right. And then he goes to Atlanta and he starts shooting threes, and all of a sudden he's a four-time All-Star.
And it's not like Paul wasn't good under Jerry, but
he did not maximize him.
He did not have the vision, and Ty Corbin didn't either, for that matter. The vision of Paul Millsap as a more versatile player. That wasn't. They didn't have him pegged for that.
Right.
So I don't know. College coaches aren't always know-it-alls.
No, but
they pretend like they are.
NBA coaches aren't either.
Dude, Kuz, is probably the best example possible because he started banging threes like his first summer league. Mm-hmm. All of us were like, "What?"
Yeah. No, his best thing that he was doing. The Lakers, because he was playing on that team that won a title. He was like off ball, crashing the glass, cutting to the rim. It was like, I never saw. Now, he was playing with LeBron. I get that LeBron was not playing for the Utes when Kuzma was there, but like even the style of play was not even remotely what Kuzma was actually ended up being good at. And I know Kuzma has become a bit of a joke in the NBA. He's also made $150 million, so he has some value. But yes, Kraskowiak had no idea.
Oh, no, Kuz is a good NBA player. Anytime Utah has had a good NBA player, they've gone to at least the Sweet 16, with one exception. Old Kuz.
Yeah. Did they make it his freshman year? He might have been on the DeLon Wright
on the
team.
He might have, you're right. But that
he
doesn't
was not
count.
The star.
No. I mean, I would say they totally underachieved with Kuz. Because, he's I don't know, he never made an all-star team probably, but.
I don't think they made the tournament his final year at Utah.
Crazy.
Been in the league forever. It's a huge wing, yeah.
Has been as good in the NBA as Andrew Bogut.
Was an all-rookie team player to that point. Was ready to contribute. So.
Misused,
yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not sure what Darren Peterson's point guard acumen is or is not. I think his turnovers in Summer League would probably alarm most coaches, but part of that, he said it was about they told him to be aggressive, and that's what he was going to do.
Kyle Kuzma's first year in the NBA, which was not when he won his title. He won a title in his third year. His first year in the NBA, he averaged 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. It's like a good player. The fact that
right away,
the fact that he didn't do anything at Utah is
I don't even know
not
if he was,
a glowing endorsement.
Was he even all conference at the end?
I doubt it. He was not that highly thought of until he went to the draft combine and played in the play-in game, which was how lowly he was thought of. Remember, if you're any good, you don't play in the scrimmages at the combine. You sit out. You're only there to get measured, and that's it. He played the first half, I think, of the first game and was so good, they pulled him out of the game. He said, yeah, I'm going to be a first-round pick. It doesn't matter. He still ended up going, 27, 28?
It was late first, yeah.
27th pick overall. His second year in the league, he averaged 18.7 points, 5.5 rebounds. Again,
yeah, dude, Kuz is really good.
Yeah, Kuz has turned into a little bit of he's a strange person, clearly. But he is 30 and playing in the NBA, and he got drafted when he was 22.
Dude, and I don't know anything about Kuz or his weirdness. I have no idea. But I know he's a good player. The biggest knock on his career is he became an overpaid player. And when you become an overpaid player, people all of a sudden start misunderstanding your abilities.
Yes. Yeah, no question about it.
I mean, anybody who would say, Kuz isn't very good is crazy. He just ended up on a contract that was over his skis, and then everybody assumes he stinks. Like I do it with Andrei Karolinko.
Sure. Oh, they're a good player.
He was a fine player, but he was so overpaid.
You probably love Bradley Beal at $18 million a year. You hate him at $43 million a year.
Exactly. It totally affects your legacy. And so Kuz ended up overpaid. So then people get down on overpaid players. That's not his fault.
Kuz, after this season, he's got 1 year left on his contract, which, by the way, he's going to sign another contract next summer. He will have made $130 million in his career and will easily make another 30 or 40. It's a great career. Good for Kuz. That's not where we started this conversation.
No, it's not. But anyway, Keyonte George, great physical condition. I thought that was a cool answer. I was expecting something more cliche. And maybe that is kind of cliche, but that's not where I was expecting him to go.
It's less nonsensical than what some guys say.
Yeah.
Some guys do, you said it might be the cutesy thing or this or that or whatever it is. No, he's taking it seriously, and I think he's simplified his life. I think that's why Keontae's become a much better player.
All right, more next. Stay tuned. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. That we were talking about being old-fashioned. Was that yesterday or was that 2 days ago?
Yesterday, yeah.
That is one of my old manny things. I love Law and Order. I love that show. I watch it. You make fun of me because I discovered these digital channels like a couple of years ago that I have with my TV.
Right.
And they have a Law and Order channel that is all Law and Order all the time. And
easy to watch.
I just watch it. And I feel like I need to tell my kids or something like, I'm watching my stories.
Correct.
Yeah. Hand me the clicker.
Shows are on.
My stories are on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I do feel a little bit that. Like, you streaming anything, Dad? Nope.
Nope.
Just watching the Law and Order channel.
You watching?
Look, here's Lenny Briscoe.
Widow's Bay. Is that what the new Apple TV show is called? No.
I'm watching a
Sam
show.
Waterston's on.
I'm watching a show produced in 1996.
Yeah. Has the same
formula.
Same format.
For every
episode.
Every single one.
Yep. To the minute.
They switch over to the order, what would it be? The law part at 30 past the hour every episode.
Mm-hmm. And then 5 minutes misdirection of which way they're headed with the law.
And then a controversial ruling.
Yeah. And it works every time.
And Jack saves the day at the end.
Yep.
I'm compelled. I really am. I wonder how, I'll say my grandmother could watch soap operas, just that's what I'm turning into with Law and Order.
Yeah. Well, this is where shows.
And then I flip over to Las Vegas when it's on commercial break.
Yeah.
Which isn't as good as I remembered.
I think that's fair.
But anything with Jimmy Kahn. I'd watch anything with Jimmy Kahn. Rest his soul.
Oh, yeah. He'll be a good name for our draft of actors turned TV stars. Movie stars turned TV stars.
I like that one.
I'm not sure he qualifies as a good pivot.
Would he be a TV star? I don't know. Las Vegas was pretty big.
Pretty low level.
What? Are you kidding? Las Vegas was amazing.
It was only on TNT, I think.
No, it was a NBC show. You know how I know that? Because there's all sorts of stupid NBC promo stuff sandwiched into the show all the time. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like you're hanging out in the casino. It's like, hey, everyone, that's Matt Lauer. Or whatever, Oh, there was an episode with Joe Rogan filming, what was his Fear Factor? It's like, yeah, this was a long time ago.
Yikes.
But yeah, that's my old man thing at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you have a show you can do that with?
I love Law and Order. I used to come home from when I was going to the community college. College is nice because sometimes your days end at 11 o'clock. I'd come home and I'd throw on TNT, and it was on at 11 o'clock every day. So I was excited to get home on time. Now, I was 20 at the time, but excited to get home on time to start Law and Order. And I would still watch an episode, absolutely. I'd throw an easy episode on.
I scheduled my college classes around reruns of 90210 for a while.
Okay.
It would come on at like 10 a.m. or something.
I didn't quite get to that point.
Back-to-back episodes, 10 to 11, and then 11 to 12.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't have class during that. I gotta see what Luke Perry's up to. Christian, Luke Perry? No?
Don't know who Luke Perry is.
No idea?
I've heard of the show.
90210, but
Yeah.
Luke Perry,
Luke
never.
Perry, no.
He died.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, man.
Jason Priestley?
So many others have. No. Well, that one sounds more familiar. I'll look him up.
He was in a car racing accident that nearly killed him. Who was the most famous of the female cast? Tiffany Amber Thiessen? Jenny Garth?
Is one of the women dead also?
Shannon Doherty.
Shannon Doherty. She also just passed away. Jeez.
I'm telling you, pal. Also a 90210 channel, in case you were wondering.
I believe that. Yeah, I fully believe that.
So we talked the other day about how LaMelo Ball didn't pay his rent in Charlotte. Mm-hmm. Apparently Cam Newton owns the
building?
Either the building or the apartment, and it's Cam Newton's dad who is suing LaMelo Ball to get that money paid.
This is a Prince Carlos Boozer situation.
More than $181,500 in unpaid rent. And more than $90,000 in HOA compliance fines. That's rough. That's a mean HOA.
That is tough. Again, the Prince Carlos Boozer situation is Carlos Boozer had a house in L.A. I think it was in L.A.
It was.
And wasn't playing for the Lakers at the time, or was one of his other houses, so he was going somewhere else. And Prince,
I think his family lived in L.A. and then
wherever, Chicago or whatever he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And Carlos puts his house up for rent, and Prince, or the artist formerly known as, rents the house and totally redoes it in all purple, puts up the Prince
painted
gate.
it purple.
Booze goes to pick up the keys when Prince is moving out, and Booze walks in and says, "Prince, what the hell? This is all Prince stuff. This is not the house I had. I can't live this." And Prince says, "Carlos, don't worry about it. It'll be fine." And Booze came back like a week later, and it was all back perfect to normal. Like they had ripped all the stuff out, and Prince had so much money that it wasn't an issue for Prince. Booze overreacted. I would worry about this if I was Cam Newton's dad. I don't know if you're ever going to see this money.
Oh, LaMelo Ball is not hard to find.
Yeah, but I bet he's not paying up.
Oh, somebody will make him pay. Can you imagine garnishing an NBA player's wages? That'd be hilarious.
Was Cam Newton's dad?
He was the one who built the church
He got
with
the church.
the crooked
so
money.
he is good at getting money.
Yeah.
He does know how to get money out of people.
You can't just stiff somebody $181,000, Ben. Of course they're going to get their money. Or else LaMelo's going to go to jail.
Yeah, it's enough. It doesn't feel like a lot for NBA players, but for Cam Newton's dad, it's probably a pretty hefty sum.
You have renters? They just stiffed you on. I mean, it wouldn't have to even be $181,000. It'd have to be.
No, it would be 100 years of rent.
Dude, they stop paying rent for 2 months. You're showing up with a gun to collect.
No, you're right.
That's Ben's collection methods, by the way.
Gun?
A gun.
I was smart enough, unlike Cam Newton's dad, to get a rental property manager because I didn't want this exact reason.
So they show up with a gun.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Don't tell me.
No, but they're getting their money is the point. There's no way that LaMelo Ball can walk away from $200,000.
And he has the money.
So
to
he's
settle this easily.
just being a jerk.
I believe that. I think he's a mess.
But I think you can you shouldn't stiff the owner if the owner is also a public figure because that just makes it a bigger story.
It doesn't help.
That doesn't help at all. Perfect use of our judicial system.
Then again, I have to say, I do wonder with some of these things, especially in light, not that we need to burn this topic now because we can get to it later because you've done the work and I've been reading about it as well today. Like, I fully believe that there are people like Kawhi Leonard or LaMelo Ball or whoever that are getting deals under the table that are like, oh yeah, you told me I could live at the Grand America. I'm just using a hypothetical here. I don't know. But like a lot of Jazz players live at Grand America or whatever the 5-star hotel is for a while until they find their home here in Utah, their apartment, their condo, some buy a house, whatever it is. Not everyone moves in and gets their apartment day one. Some guys just stay at... Jordan Clarkson, I think, lived at Grand America forever after he got traded to the Jazz, if I remember correctly. If you were to tell me that there are players in the NBA who aren't paying their hotel bill and somebody else is paying that hotel bill, I would believe it, even if it's against the rules of the NBA. If LaMelo thought he was staying somewhere for free, or somebody had said, like, don't worry, we know Cam Newton's dad, we're going to let you stay here, the same way Kawhi was asking for points or ownership of the Maple Leafs while he was going to Toronto or wanted that, I would believe that there may have been a prior agreement that somebody else didn't deliver on. Not that I'm giving LaMelo a lot of benefit of the doubt. Again, I think he's a mess.
Well, then he deserves this, if that's what it was.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Then he deserves it actually even more.
Mm-hmm.
Because you shouldn't be doing that. So I'm not going to feel bad for you if you get stuck with a $200,000
bill.
Yeah, no, you're talking about the Jameis Winston crab legs thing, where
yes,
he's used to a friend of the program.
He's got a buddy.
Yeah,
who
giving
runs
him
the deli.
crab legs, right? Who hands it out because he's Jameis Winston, Florida State quarterback, and then one day some Boy Scout says, "Hey, you can't steal those crab legs," and he gets busted for stealing crab legs. I don't feel bad for Jameis Winston either.
Correct. Jameis was taking advantage of a situation that someone did say yes to, but he also knew he was taking advantage of a situation. He knew he should have been paying for the crab legs, like the Rhode Island governor who should have been paying for his ticket to the Clippers game.
Oh, he did, though.
Well, later.
He did, though. He did pay for that.
At some point, he paid for the ticket to the game.
We could do that at the top of the 4 o'clock hour.
Okay, it's worth talking about.
It is worth talking about.
This Kawhi situation and the reason why it has not been resolved yet, and as was reported last week, it's like the more the NBA has looked into this, or this law firm has looked into this, it seems like there's more and more and more there of where Kawhi was getting money or how many people were paying Kawhi got far hairier today, or yesterday technically, but it's getting a lot hairier.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that at the top of the 4 o'clock hour because I certainly have thoughts, and I'll try. I feel like summing up some of these podcasts like I've done lately, I've been doing a poor job. So I'll try to organize my thoughts a little bit better. But I did consume it, and it is compelling.
Yeah, and it's probably the last big piece of news in the NBA until the season starts.
Man, I bet they wish they could have just ripped the Band-Aid off. Well, we can get into it. But Pablo's been working on this. I talk about him like I know him. Pablo Torre has been working on this story for months and months and months and months and months. So they knew that he knew about this part of it.
Yes.
Which I don't think is coincidental.
Again,
but we can get into it.
It involves the Rhode Island governor, so it's different than aspiration. Nothing at all to do with the fake tree planting company.
Indeed. And Rhode Island. Who knew it was such a scandalous place? All right, stay tuned. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson. Now, every day from 2 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson. It's Thursday. That means it's time to announce the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. The winner this week, Scott Giles. Congratulations to Scott. Here's what was said in his nomination. Scott is magnetic. The kids love him even if they are not on his team. He genuinely builds his athletes in competition, in and out of competition. His focus is on the individual and the team, then the sport. He gives his time and his mental and emotional effort to uplift his players. He takes his time to support the players in their other sports. I love that he is a teacher and coach of the game. He focuses on the process, not the podium. So congratulations to Scott Giles.
Again, one of my probably my favorite promotion we do. I think it's extremely cool. Love Beehive Meals for being a part of this, but Hero of the Week, always cool to represent and recognize those who are really helping. Got
to brag about Sadie today, Ben. She had a shutout.
Very cool.
She played goalie. And she did not give up a goal. Yeah, she's got a soccer tournament going on right now. And the team won 2-0, so shout out to her team. But super stoked for her.
Extremely cool.
I have a hard time watching her play goalie, though.
It's too stressful for you.
It's too stressful for me. There's too much pressure.
Okay.
And she handles it fine. But I think goalie is the one position in... I don't know, we could, team sports, you could make this argument about hockey or soccer too, but where the pressure is the most and you cannot dilute it to your teammates. Does that make any sense? Like, if LeBron loses, what does everybody say?
Teammates weren't good enough.
Yeah, if your team gives up a goal, the fullback can probably look at the other fullback or away. You kind of take that as a team. When you're the goalie, if you make a mistake or if the ball goes past you, that was on you.
That was on you.
You're the last, the most pressure, it's on you.
The other one, and I think is actually the right answer, is the field goal kicker. Is the kicker.
But
you
even then,
miss the kick and you lose a game.
Yeah.
The team has done enough to put you in a spot to win. They just need you to kick the field goal or the extra point or whatever. The rest of the team has done its job. You inherently do not if you miss a kick, and that's how the team loses.
Yeah, okay.
That might be the one I would take. But goalie, absolutely. Anytime you're doing something as an individual in a team sport, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, and nobody to blame but yourself.
Right. If Car Crash Christian ruins the traffic updates, he can't blame us. But that's the one part of our show that we do that is not the three of us. It's not the team involved. We have a bad segment. I have a bad segment. I can say, well, Christian didn't play the right drop. Or I can say, oh, Jake didn't ask the right questions. Or whatever. Car Crash Christian comes in for traffic and messes up the names of all of our freeways. He can't blame that on Jake Scott.
No.
That's the goalie or field goal kicker of our team. That's how we view you, Christian. The field goal
last
kicker
line of defense. Okay.
So anyway, shout out to her. And it stresses me out. I don't know about you, but that's how I played team sports. I just blame everyone
else.
Man, took that L. You guys should have really been better.
I didn't drop the ball in left field. You should have thrown better pitches. Get something past him.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, you should have rebounded better. We would have won.
It's not my fault I didn't play defense. You should have gotten the offensive rebound so I didn't have to play defense.
No, but the goalie in the World Cup where the ball goes between his legs or whatever, that's on you.
It's a toughie. I felt like I would have wanted to play goalie, and then as you get older, you realize, no, you don't want that on you. That's not a good gig. It's why they say every NHL goalie is a crazy person.
Well, yeah, some people really like it.
It's not just that you're getting a ball kicked at you or a puck shot at you at insane speeds. It's that you have to be a little bit of a lone wolf to want that.
Yeah, my the Skyline High School soccer goalie when I was a senior, his name was Jim. Perfect for him. He loved it.
Yeah.
Perfect for him. He probably still plays today.
Still find Jim.
I think his favorite part of it was he got to yell at people because that's what the goalie does.
Yeah, you're directing traffic.
You're directing traffic. You're yelling at people.
Sure.
I feel like I could have been good at that, but the rest of the job not so much. I can yell at people.
Hey, you.
Isn't that how Lloyd got the job here?
Yeah, yelling at people.
He's like, that was one of his things in his interview. He's like, I can yell at people all you want.
Also a hell of a goalie.
Fun. It's not as fun to tease Lloyd when there's not a chance he could be in the other room.
Yeah, where's Lloyd?
He's vacationing.
Bet.
Hopefully it's raining. Do we know where he went?
He's doing rodeo stuff, right?
His cabin.
Oh, okay.
No, the rodeo stuff was at the rodeo here. Oh, maybe he is, yeah.
I think
he
wherever
did
his
post some
cabin is,
stuff.
I think the boys are off doing cowboy stuff. So that's cool.
I hope the AC broke.
Man, our cabin that we stayed in on our way to Yellowstone is gorgeous, amazing. Very grateful for the in-laws, but because the further north you go, the cooler it gets. You generally don't need AC. A little room fan will do it. But as the entire world is experiencing record high heats across seemingly everywhere, including Utah and Idaho and Wyoming and Montana, boy, was it hot in that cabin. And when you get the upstairs bedroom, you are cooking. Even in the middle of the night. Toasty. Hard to get the heat out. House isn't designed to get the heat out of the bedroom. Now, again, don't be the guy complaining about his free cabin stay. I'm not trying to. But
sure you can.
You're complaining about you hope Lloyd's AC goes out. I know that pain. There's no AC to begin with.
Yeah, and I hope Lloyd's going through it.
It gets toasty quick.
I hope he's up in the attic. Hot up there.
Made him sleep in the attic.
All right, coming up next, we'll talk some NBA. We'll try and fill you in on the latest with Kawhi Leonard and why maybe this investigation could go. What did they say yesterday? Until 2027?
Yeah, until next year.
Another thread.
Here's why.
Yeah. Or part of the reason why.
Yep.
All right, stay tuned. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.